very special Halloween season pumpkin pie warrior. Now, this thing isn't actually special. It is a bootleg kit of the Asshimar from the Zeta series. And unfortunately, it doesn't look exactly like the pumpkin on here. You'll see why they did this design as we get into if you're not familiar with the Ashmar. But I absolutely love this design. I'm very appreciative of you viewers, especially when I find out these special kits to me that like this one. Oh, I just had to find this. I think it was Craze 88. I appreciate that comment on there. And if you guys have any more fun bootlegs that are definitely unique, I cannot wait to see it. Share it in the comments below, please. That's for me and for all the other viewers too. So, jumping right into this build, we're going to start off with the chest section, and it is by far the largest portion of the build because it has a transformation gimmick in this kit. So, how's everyone night going tonight? So this is, if you're curious about the plastic, on the quality on this, a little hard to focus on that for a second. The autofocus is messing up some. It is, I would say it's good. Not nearly as good as the KK ground type Gundam I just built, but I would say it's plastic quality wise, it's probably right in the middle. I think it'd be above FS the Spartan that I built because this one does feel a little bit more sturdy, not nearly as soft, but I would definitely say it's not nearly as premium as the ground type. But still, I cannot wait to build this kit, and I hope you guys share the same enthusiasm for this kit. As you can see that it is green and orange with purple mixed in, and yeah, so it's going to be an interesting one for sure. Alright, so starting off with the backside here. Make sure I actually have the right section. Alright, there we go. You have so many pieces mixed in here. Easy to get lost in that. So, get some poly caps. Going. Alright. There is some poly caps with this, and there is no water slides with this kit. I was kind of surprised, but it does have a really unique base. I will show you that later because I actually went ahead and put that together. I like the style. It's not just a single peg like normal, but you do have that connector piece to the base. So, yeah. Put the poly caps on. We have this section here. I'm going to assume it's part of the movement. Let's see how that lines up. So a couple of small pieces on here. Hey John, what is going on, my dude? Alright. So we got this going to attach, and then it pegs into these spots right here. Oh, good. I was concerned that it wouldn't line up very good, but it looks like it's doing it. Lines up pretty good. And then same much the backside on there. So after we had that conversation on Insta the other night, I was trying to go through like what I thought would line up with other Nightmare for Christmas ones. I think the O would be a fantastic Oogie Boogie. I don't know. Have you given me thought to other kits that you're looking at potentially doing that too? But I thought the O would be phenomenal as Oogie Boogie. It just has the right shape and everything. So, all right, we'll make sure I get that poly cap in here for its head. There we are. Agreed. I was like, I had that one bootleg that I've done the O. I'm like, maybe I need to paint that up with some glow in the dark green and give it that pattern for like sewn. And then we kind of put this together. make sure I have everything locked in place. Yes. So I will say clean up on this plastic. It does leave some nubbing. It is a little bit on the brittle side as far as some kits go, but it's not. It's still not terrible. Um, it did seem to polish up just fine with the razor glass file that I was using, and I fully anticipate my fingers to be numb after this build too. Yeah, there you go. I like it. Let's see here. All right, I want to. Looks like we may have to try to even this out before we push it together. Um, yeah, so that was kind of my thought. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that would be a good. Any of the IBO line would, I would say, with that skinnier profile would definitely work. But yes, um, I'm trying to think of some other ones. I'm trying to. Looks like it needs to go together at the same time. Don't want to lose that poly cap either. Anytime you got to push these all together at one time, there's multiple. You know how that is. Maybe there's a lineup issue with that purple. Let me see. So we can push that down maybe. There we go. There we go. That was the issue. There's a couple of those two little purple pieces on the sides kind of slid. Yeah, I appreciate the custom design on that, and I was so Nightmare for Christmas is a very near and dear movie to my childhood nostalgia. I wore out a VHS of that one a long time ago, and I still to this day. My son actually loves it too, so kind of, love it even more. All right, let's see. Make sure we have everything lined up on that. Let's see. Nice. That'd be a good one. Is that a tradition for you, or is it something you're gonna do for this first time? Make sure that I. Sometimes I gotta compare it to the picture itself. We always watch Hocus Pocus. That's my wife's favorite movie, and sometimes we even throw Hocus Pocus parties just because she loves it that much. And I'm not against it either. I like Hocus Pocus as well, but that is hands down her favorite. Let's see, that can be right. There we go. So it slides inwards. Nice. That's a good tradition. I'd usually watch it in between Halloween and Christmas myself, but yeah, Hocus ever since I've been with my wife, pretty much Hocus Pocus has been kind of the go-to. But I will work in Nightmare for Christmas, and and even more so with my son. Oh man, this is hard to keep everything in place. Let me lay it down. There we go. So I'm interested to see how this transformation setup works for this kid. But yeah, that's definitely a classic for sure. There we go. Definitely a little on the tighter side for putting this stuff together. It's not terrible, but I've already kind of put a couple of things together, just getting just extras like hands and stuff like that, just to get a feel for how it's going to be and how sore my hands are going to be tomorrow. But I'm trying to think what would be a good one for zero. There's being so small and stuff. I don't know anything that line up with that. There we go. Yeah, so the polycaps want to shift on me when I'm trying to put these in. All right. And it looks like this section goes on here on the sides. All right. Yeah, I was gonna say Nightmare for Christmas always a solid watch. We I've been trying to make it a habit to watch a couple scarier movies if we ever get the kids to go to sleep. It's hard to do, but every once in a while, I yeah, there you go. Horror would be that would make the most sense. I was kind of thinking the same along the same lines, just because just the size of it. A Boku being a dog type, paint the nose with a jack o' lantern on it, or give it a nose with a jack o' lantern. I like it. All right, let's see here. You get me talking about Nightmare of Christmas for sure. Let's see. Look for part number 15 in a runner. Check if it's got a mold defect. I'll have to. You know which runner that was on by chance? No, no. I'll definitely double check it come through. So far as the plastic goes and the molding and everything, it looked pretty good. I didn't really have too many concerns or issues about anything. I know just for runner A. Okay. I will check it out. Let me finish up this section here. I'll flip over and take a look and see what the part is. Oh, I read that as a specific, just a runner, not necessarily runner A. Thank you for the clarification. How you doing tonight, Case? Oh shoot! All right, so it looks like it goes in here. Just trying to get the lineup on this. Nice. That moves in pretty well. Opens up. As long as it holds in place, well. Oh no. Okay, well, I haven't noticed anything on that one yet, so we'll take a look and see, but I will definitely note that and I will make sure I put that in my review too that you noticed an issue with yours. All right. So, trying to get everything lined up again. It's actually showing that the orange was supposed to go on first, but I found that's a little bit easier to work the green on, then put the orange on. All right. I do love these colors, man. I really like. I give you kudos in the beginning of it, but I really appreciate this. This has been a I was excited to get this build. All right, so once we get that connected, we add in. It goes right here. Yeah, that was actually I was a little intimidated when I first started cutting that out because there was so many pieces involved with it, and I knew that was going to be a large portion of the transformation. I was coming into it definitely a little intimidated for sure. Let's see. All right, so but honestly, it hasn't been that bad of a build. Um, I put a couple like extra the it comes with like the extra trigger hands and stuff together just real quick. That just little stuff that I don't necessarily see during the build like on this, but here we go. Let's see. I would say, and also a nice thing about this is a lot of it was undergated too, so it made it much easier to work with. There's that cap for the connection point. I don't want to push that in too far just because I know that's the connection point for the mobile armor transformation. I don't want to switch it over. Oh, there you yes, I like that. Yeah, the Barbatours for the reindeer. Oh, so yeah, that's the chest in a nutshell and the lower section here. But part of the transformation just pops out and slides up. I'm guessing that comes up. Yeah, so that's interesting. I won't get too much in the transformation. Hopefully, it's not too bad so I can. Anyway, so that is everything on the section there. We're going to go ahead and move into the backpack next. But let's see. Yeah, you could do like maybe a base jabber. Maybe. Could see you probably doing something like that to set up for transportation. Well, that's good that you know it's sturdy. Around here, that's an important thing, especially when my son gets a hold of him. He's he has I made it a point now. Unfortunately, he can't have any models until Daddy's done recording them because he's broken a lot recently. He's actually got to the habit. He'll ask me, he's like, "Are you done recording it yet?" Because he wants to play with it. I'm like, "Not yet, bud. Hold on." Oh shoot! All right, so yeah, that's very much. I have some. I have it right here and ready to rock. Always, it's come in handy. I don't know how many times. Oh yeah. All right, so once we get that on there, we need to add in this portion here. Make sure I have a face in the right direction, and yes, you can see there, definitely a little bit of marking in the gray, but let's see. Might be easier to actually go this route. Slide this on first, yeah, and then put this on. All right, so once we got that in there, we're gonna go ahead and add in this portion here. Okay, so that goes down on top of it. So it's going to be interesting that this is going to sit lower on it. I kind of wondered about that with the transformation, if it would, um, how sturdy the head plate would be, because it kind of twists and turns, tucks into place. So that's kind of confirming my thoughts, at least. If I need to, I'll glue it and I'll glue the red frame at least in place. I don't think that's needed for much of anything. Yeah, honestly, I did a little bit of review, and this was after I ordered it. I was committed to ordering it anyways. After you had mentioned it during one of these live streams, and I was like, I'm curious now. So I had to, but I started watching a little bit of reviews, and honestly, it came back pretty solid. It looked like it looked like from everything that I watched on it, it was a solid build all the ways through with very minimal issues. Got ahead of myself here, but we need to add in these sections on the sides here. All right. Oh, yes, absolutely. I've got to figure out what I want to do with that. I do. I want that on display somewhere. Like it, the pattern of it was. It's just so unique. I appreciate the company throwing that in there and giving that unique design to it. Alright, so then wish these thrusters would have been maybe in a different color, or maybe I need to go in and just kind of paint the inside of them a different color, but and here is the other one. Yes, that is all it has. Beam rifles. That is it. No, nothing else. No shields, no sabers. Just fists and fists and beam rifles. All offense. All right. Once that is completed, get this set up here. Just want to separate just a little bit on the plastic there. I'll make sure being undergated. All right. Yes, I probably will switch that out. I seen that. There's not, I was surprised there was extra pieces left, but there we go. Nice and very snug on that. Oop. Alright, so backpack is finished. Now we'll move on to the head section here, and honestly, one of my favorite sections. Just I like the hood on it, so I thought that was pretty cool. I haven't been paying attention. There is some stickers, some color correcting stickers for it. There is that eye section here, and then just a couple of things, but all in all, not too bad. Coming off the ground type Gundam, it would have been nice to have some water slides for this kit as well, but I understand that. Try to stick to it. Some panel line will definitely help this kit out. I don't have any brown panel line, so I'm definitely going to go black on that just to kind of break up some of these larger pieces. Because there is some nice deep panel lines on it. I think that would help for sure, especially in the venting and everything. But no water slides on this one. Alright, so we're moving down into the head section here. I don't expect too much versatility just because of the shape of the head and everything. I don't know if I got two or just one on mine. You must have been just I was gonna say because I'm pretty sure I only got one clear part of mine. So you got an extra one. All right. So here is some of the color correcting stickers that we have. Let's see, 3. Interesting. Yeah, this one only had one. Only had clear. All right. So here, once that decal is on, just on the one side there. Make sure here it is on this side. C-clip going to this, I'm not a big fan of just because that antenna I've broke I don't know how many times. Oh, I gotcha. Not very clear. Yeah, I'm the foggy one. So was that a feature that yours came with, or they seen it and just went ahead and threw an extra one in? All right, I'll go ahead and put this eye section in here. Now this only has one mono eye on here, but there's actually on the three sub mono or three eyes. That's truly not a full mono eye, which it's actually a Federation suit anyways. Pod guy. 1 second here. Thought my phone was on silent already. Oh, I mean, that's possible. Trying to line everything up evenly. And I'm not doing a great job. There we go. Better. Wonder if the sticker is not centered all the ways. I feel like it might not be. So go ahead and put this. That was the red frame we were talking about around the eye here. I like the venting setup on the sides though. Back side has this orange vent. And then we're going to work in kind of clips on there. So it might be easier just to slide down over top of it, but here is the big old head on that. Yeah, this could have some really good potential for some kit bashing, that's for sure. Very unique design. See if I can get that to sit in there. Trying to get that poly caps. Might be easier to put the poly cap or the ball joint into that poly cap and then work it back in. Yeah, let's go that route. Maybe. Here we go. So put this in first. That way it's just easier. Maybe. There we go. Now that we got it clicked in. Oop, did I miss a clear piece? I did. See, I laid it on top of blended in after we were just done talking about it. All right, so let me put this on. It is a very interesting design for being a Federation because it definitely has that Rick Dom face. All right, look how big. Turn that sideways and how big the head is. Definitely a little on the looser side, just kind of moving around some, but there's actually more movement in the head than I honestly expected. I thought it was going to be very much just a stationary head, but it does have some, so I can do a little bit better with the dynamic posing. All right, and then it skips over on the build here to the giant rifles, and then go back to the body. Very much different build. Yeah, there. I mean, I was expecting even less than that, so I'm content. It wouldn't fit in my normal container, so I had to throw that in a Ziploc baggie just because of how long they are. I mean, that's pretty long. All right, so pops right there. Kind of a yeah, that's true. Yeah, yep. This was after the 1 Year War too. They were more focused on trying to figure out more atmospheric friendly mobile suits for sure. Trying to get this to sit in the way I want it to. I will say, I will make note too, I kind of stressed one of these out a little bit, and just because they're so thin and brittle on these guns too. I'm trying not to be. Yeah, yeah, that the good old Isaac. I'm trying not to break this. All right, that is the right section. It just didn't seem like it went to line up very good. There we go. Much better that time. All right. So once we have that on there, we have this small section here. Again, majority green. And then just sandwich together. So you're going to have that large seam down chunk of it there. But you do have these couple on the ends that make up for that. A little bit of extra color, so that's kind of a nice feature. I mean, as far as beam rifles go for high grade types, you do have a little bit of color, not just a standard one color. But definitely on a larger scale when you get 2 of these bad boys. So there's one. Now this is the only weapons you get with this kit. That is it. There's nothing else. All right. So you want to make sure these are exactly lined up when you pop them in, because if not, you're going to be a pain in the butt. All right. And so once we're going to sandwich the other side onto this again. And there you can see that stress mark I was talking a little bit. Kind of did that on both sides there, but a little bit of stress marks. I think that one actually came up from when I was trying to readjust that. So just be a little cautious if you do end up getting this working on this specific thing. And the handle does kind of fold into it as well. So part of the transformation on that. All right, so moving into the next page, we are going ahead and hitting up these big old shoulders. All right. Making sure I have this right. So many things on this kit look very similar just because of the shape that it comes in. Looks like I missed a little bit of undergating on that one. Not seeing. Well, I mean, that's underneath, so it won't be too bad. It won't be visible, but I'm not seeing my file for that. So that pops into place. And then we're supposed to do it on the other side as well. Make sure that I picked up the undergate. Yes, I got that one cleared. Just missed one. All right. Set that off, and then we'll go into the arm section here. You have a very long poly cap for that arm connection piece. I couldn't decide which way I wanted to go with this, if I was going to do around Halloween time because it looks like the pumpkin, or because it's called a pumpkin pie warrior. I thought, well, Thanksgiving time might be a better time to run this one, but I end up going right now because honestly I was just too excited not to build it. Alright, so then the other side here. working. And just because it's larger sections, you're going to have bigger seam lines. Maybe may not have seam lines if I can't get them good to go. There we go. Yeah, so you have a larger seam line there. But not bad. To be expected. Then the internal frame down here is, let's see. There we go. Kind of working that. It's interesting. It's almost like adding an inner frame to this section, but not entirely. So I'm sure that actually adds to the support on that. And then looks like there is a sticker that's going to go on this. Okay, so 5 is that purple section with a small round circle kind of making up for that. And then we'll have it on the other one. Alright, so here we go. More reflective and shiny. I think it goes right here. And then let's see. Trying to keep track of this because this is pretty different. Let's see, there is, yeah, this is definitely different, which is fun. That's what I always like it to make it more interesting. You know, if it's completely different of a build, then. So I went ahead and put the back panel on the fist there. You can see the fist is actually 2 pieces sandwiched together, but instead of the front and back like normal, it's actually more, it's along the lines of the thumb and finger here, and then the rest of the fingers. Very interesting connection point. And then let's see, what do we got? We have more polycaps. It's going to go up here in this connection, and all right, 1 second. I apologize, guys. A lot of noise in the background. I apologize. All right, so let's see how we got that set up. Trying to find the connection. Okay, so this actually goes together. Pops in here. Is the arm, and the hand, I should say. Looks like the hand slide too, so that's. Alright, so with that hand sliding right here, the sticker doesn't want to stay in place very well either. See, there, it makes more sense. So that's going to come in, kind of cover that up. I was wondering about that connection point on that. So this will slide down over top of the polycap. It looks like, yes, but this actually, polycap needs to flip around. maybe. See, not used to the rounded side being up like that. Okay, and then once that's on there, this section slides up. Right? Yes. I definitely find it interesting the way that's what I peg on there. Yeah, so that makes up, interesting. And you can see how that folds in and makes a partial circle. This transformation is going to be very interesting, for sure. Go ahead and work that on. All right. And so that hand slides up inside. But how easy is it to get back out is the real question. Because it doesn't feel that easy. And we'll figure that out later. But, so yeah, that's one arm done. Very unique build for sure, guys. This has been very interesting all the ways through. So go ahead and start with that shoulder piece again. Just kind of work our way back through it all. Same thing, just opposite side. But again, everything looks so similar. It's kind of, or these orange pieces look so similar. All right, there's a poly cap. Pop it in there. And then the smallest little section here kind of pops into place. Very interesting setup all the ways around. And it's interesting how they kind of work in the different colors onto this too. Because I know they're trying to break up that color separation or bring in better color separation, which is cool. I just think that's very unique style for this kit for sure. There we go. But what do you expect from Zeta line kits? I mean, the whole Zeta series had some way out there designs. Honestly, some of my favorite ones are from Zeta though too. Hands down, Hayagashiki is still one of my all-time favorite master grade builds. The 2.0. 2.0. There we go. So we'll go ahead and add in the other purple sticker. On here. Wish it wasn't so reflective. Kind of, because it just draws more attention to itself. And here, this is a good example. I didn't put this one together to show you guys, but so yeah, the hand is sandwiched together this way versus the normal way, which this spot is pretty tight. There we go. All right. There we go. Make sure I have that facing the right way. All right, so and guess I didn't have it facing the right way because that clicks into place right there. So yeah, everything has a reason. And now that we got that all together, we'll go ahead and put this on here. Uh, Not much, man. Just working on the arms and everything. Just finishing up the arms. Definitely unique design. It's been smooth, honestly, all the way through. A couple of spots here and there, a little tight, but not bad. You're all right. All right, so then we get this on here. There we go. And again, makes that half shape, and then that arm slides in for part of the transformation. Very interesting build for sure. All right, so yeah, next up is the legs already. Now, normally the legs are the majority of the kit, but well, actually, feet. We're doing feet first, and then legs. We'll do both feet, then legs individually. But I really do believe that the majority of this kit, or the meat of this kit, is in the chest itself, just because of the transformation. And so there is a decent amount of polycap usage in this here. Let's see, make sure I have it on the right spot. Yes, so here is. Alright. I'm not overly keen on how much polycaps are used in the feet, just because, given experience and time, they kind of wear down, and especially if you were one that likes to adjust yours or reposition your kits. All right, here we go. Toilet's waving at you, huh? A lot. So my hands are definitely starting to feel a little bit worn down, especially when it comes to these smaller pieces like this, but Still not as bad, nearly as bad as I expected. All right. So sandwich that one together, and hopefully that stays. Back of this just has one long piece. It's going to have very high heels on this pumpkin. Okay. Oh, man. All right, slide this into place. Maybe. Yep, that looks like it's the case. And all right. Very, very tall feet. It does actually get some thrusters in here too, which is kind of nice. Make sure I try to. Kind of hard to get that in there. There we go. Easy to push that in. Making sure I didn't use. Yeah, that's right. It's hard to tell the difference between the two. One supposedly is a little bit smaller than the other, and I guess that is the case, but kind of hard to tell a little bit. And we actually use some more polycaps. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 polycaps in the feet. All right. Which way? Maybe like this. I'm trying to see which way exactly it goes, but okay. Yes, it goes that way. All right. Welcome back for the second time. I appreciate that. Just a little bit of cleanup left on that I missed. Again, this kit is mostly undergated, so makes it easy for that kind of cleanup, but hopefully everything came out on the end for you. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. So then this pops into place here. Very interesting foot design for sure. Oh, nice. I've seen a couple of different ones. Has the Zingdong Psycho Zaku been out for a minute? Because I want to say I've seen that one before, or is that a newer one too? All right, so that is one foot done. Moving into the other, we did go ahead and put this small section here together. I got a couple of kits off to the side. I got the Sirius Emperor Form Barbatos from Max Models um, that I might try to work in. It's kind of hard to get some of those larger models in, but I definitely want to build it. And then I have a Cherry Blossom Freedom to do still too. Oh, they're making a perfect grade Mark II. Are they doing both AUG and Titan or something different? That's I wonder how good that's going to be though. I mean, so far Gao Gao has been it's been okay. I mean, the one or two that I've built with them, they've been decent. I'm curious to see how that would work out. I would love a Mark II Titan. I'd like someone other than Dobbin to do the perfect grade Phoenix, honestly. Okay. I mean, I could definitely see the AUG coming with that though too. So, but that's good to know. All right. Oh, I've seen the Wolf Technology Barbatos. I have seen that one and it looks very nice. That's like that's not even a true bootleg. It's kind of like their own take on it, in my opinion. It I cannot wait. Definitely a kit that I wouldn't mind having. Let's see. I'm just gonna pop this together as polycaps. Yeah, I the hands, the whole designs. I like the angles of it. It's more sharp, more mean than like the traditional one. But yeah, so could definitely see that being a popular build for sure. I might have done. Take a look at this and see. Yep, I flipped those around. Yeah, I did see that the metal frame was included on that one. I'll fix those later. Boy, trying to swap around those. Um, yes, the metal frame on that. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. Honestly, from what I've seen, I would definitely be a nice addition to the collection. All right, so moving into the legs now. I will swap around. I have two small thrusters on one side and two large on the other, and I need to swap those around. All right, so moving into the legs, and I will show you. I forgot to show you guys this too, but I want to throw those together. But you do get two trigger fingers as well, one for each side, along with the holding hands too. So you do get a set of hands. It's kind of nice. All right, let's jump into the legs, and there is a larger pieces of plastic on the legs here. So as far as the build goes, Not really too bad. And let's see, where is that polycap? Just one polycap on this. Uh-oh. The dog got kicked out of the bedroom. That's never a good thing. Come, he looks pretty happy, so I'm not paying attention. I'm putting it the wrong way. Oh my goodness. There we go. I don't want to push it too far. Okay, so then we go ahead and put the backside on this. And then we have let's see, make sure I have it facing the right direction here. That is showing out, and the pipe is okay on this side here. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I mean, they already have the basic design for that, so it's just the addition of the packs. I mean, that to me makes sense. And I know the C packs is the narrative was actually a lot of people have liked it, the build on that especially, so that I've seen. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. All right, let's see. What do we got here? We got the feet on that. So we got top section here. I know there's a decent amount of kits. Actually, that the Wolf Technology Barbatos, or the Max. I can't talk. I'm sorry. The Max Technology Barbatos. That is one I'm super excited about. All right, so we get this on here. We slide on this section, the leg. Oh, that was kind of a interesting design. That slid on. Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, yeah. Which I mean, that makes sense. And did they? I forget. Are they doing the like the blue version Psycho Frame like the Gundam base has as well? I can't remember if I had seen that or not actually. All right, so and connect other side. I will say everything on this kit has been very firm. Fingers are definitely a little sore, but it's not like terrible to where things aren't going together. It's just everything's tight. Should see. There we go. And then what do we have on this? Part more of the transformation section. Let's see. All right, so trying trying to find the lines. I think it actually goes back here. There's so many lines going on this section's kind of throwing me off a little bit. And then after that, I haven't. I mean, there is some minor mold defects in it. If you, it's gonna be kind of hard to see. There's a small divot right here in the mold. That one's pretty easy to see, actually. But then there is some swirl in the plastic. But as far as that goes, at least on this leg, um, it's not terrible. I would say. I mean, it kind of falls in line with the rest of it so far, but there's nothing too bad on it. I guess just a couple of divots here and there occasionally, and then you can see just where some of the swirl is in the plastic. Upper thigh. Let's take a look and see. A little bit. Yeah, I was gonna say it's. Mm-mm. There is this seam line, or there is a line right here. Kind of press. Well, this is the upper leg now, right? Because there's the hip joint. So hold on, the knee. No, I'm not going to do that to you guys. Sorry. So right here seems to be a little bit of stress actually from where I had to slide that on. But yeah, I'm not. I don't really see anything on this side on either upper or lower section that would make me think that was any kind of major defect. There is some swirling in the plastic for sure. Yeah, I mean right here there is a line through it. You can see that a little bit. See if I can get that without losing focus. And that might be actually more pressure from sliding it on there than anything. But it doesn't look too bad. I would say definitely the green in this is not as friendly on the print as like the orange was for concealing defects. Here we go. Now it could be on the other leg. Do you remember which leg it was on, or was it both legs? No, I was gonna say just that one seam line or that one line there, but like I said, I think that's actually a little bit more from sliding that section on the leg. So I didn't really have any issues with it. I mean, just that green kind of shows a lot more of the quality of the plastic in areas, like the lower quality, I guess, on that side. But the orange stuff doesn't kind of it conceals a lot of that. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on both sides when I'm building it. But yeah, so far I'm not seeing anything. All right. Where is this section goes on? Oh yeah, yeah. No, when I was cutting it out, I didn't see anything missing. So I would say whatever defect that you have is not. I don't have it in mind. You probably just got a different batch of some sort. That was yeah. When you said it was missing, I'm like I didn't see anything missing when I was cutting it out. So that's why they gave you that extra clear piece, like you said, because I only got one clear piece. All right, let's see how this pops in there. That goes in the back, right? Yes. And then this side pops in. So more of that transformation is throwing me off. I don't know who that is either. I don't one company I found is pronounced with like an A, but on someone put it, but I don't know if that's accurate or not. It was just someone had it listed on there, so I really don't know. Unfortunately. All right, so let's finish this up. Getting sidetracked with it. That thruster does not want to go in there. There we go. Alright, so after that, actually, it looks like I was not supposed to put that together until I got the foot in there. Whoops. I definitely don't like the fact that this whole polycap is one individual polycap is holding the whole thing together, or holding this whole foot in place. But it makes sense. Part of the transformation, I guess. I mean, hey, it would be interesting, that's for sure. If I was banned, I don't know. I I'd throw it out there. Shoot, have fun with it. There's another leg done. One leg done. Not another leg, unfortunately. All right, and here's the other leg. Let's see if I don't spend as much time on this. That transformation threw me off for a second. But yeah, on this green too, it's definitely a little rough on the nub marks, and a little rough on showing the swirls and everything in here. All right. Let's see here. I'm sure the vents are all going the right direction. gonna say, as far as everything goes, it's pretty pretty solid. I mean, all right. There we go. Flip that around, and here we Interesting. All right, so take that off and put that other section back on. Jumping ahead of myself again. Yeah, that one didn't seem to do anything there. There we go. And let's move down into that section down here, the lower side of the foot. But yeah, no defects. I am not seeing anything on there. It looks like everything is there. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do that because I don't think it actually holds it that way. But I I debated about that or actually painting a jack-o'-lantern face on it. As one of the two options. I haven't decided which way I'm going with that yet. There we go. Go ahead and put this other inner frame on there. Or yeah, I mean that's what I would call it inner frame. It's kind of what it is. It's not a complete one, but all right. Forget to put this upper section on. Looks like it might have a little bit of filing to do on it afterwards. Just a little bit extra cleanup because I do leave. There's some more nub marks on the green than I originally thought. All right, that intersection here. Popping into place. Get the foot actually in here this time. definitely feel that the green is a little bit more brittle than the orange for sure. And here is the other leg that pops in back here. Kind of lock them legs into place. And here is the finished kit. It's actually pretty good size. See if I can back the screen up a little bit here. Maybe. Here we go. So yeah, it is the overall kit. Pretty good height to it. I have to flip around. It looks like I have one decal sticker or one color correcting sticker I gotta find and figure out, but dogs are barking now. Up to no good. And I will show you real quick too. I do think this base is pretty unique. I like it a lot. It does have a very long base or flat base right there, and it's got the claw option, which you do have another connector point as well. And so that's kind of nice. And like you said, Kays, you do have the extra red thrusters if you want to swap out the backpack thrusters for the orange ones. I think that might be a nice little break of color if you're not going to do too much different with it. But I mean, that is pretty much everything. I'm going to find that color correcting sticker on here somewhere, but I won't bore you guys with that one for the evening. I appreciate you guys hanging out while we get through and build. So, guys, have a good evening or good day wherever you might be. And until next time, love.